The movie begins with a former president, Thomas Whitmore, waking up to a nightmare where he sees the universe getting attacked by an alien. After he wakes up, we see a few papers on the table that have a hand-drawn symbol of a circle intersected by a straight line. Meanwhile, the current president, Elizabeth Lanford, is preparing for a speech at the White House. She states that the loss of lives in 1996 has led the nations to put aside their differences and rebuild their families, cities, and lives. The fusion of human and alien technology has enabled them to defy gravity and travel at unimaginable speeds, making the planet safe again. She thanks her assistant Patricia for writing a wonderful speech. During all of this, Captain Dylan Hiller comes to meet the president. She acknowledges his bravery and tells him that his father would be very proud of him. Patricia advises Dylan to maintain good relations with Jake Morrison, who's her fiancé and a space pilot stationed on the moon. On the moon, Jake and his friend Charlie are working on setting up a machine. As they operate the ship, a moon vehicle collides with the machine and is about to fall over. Their commander, Zhang Lao, instructs them to take evasive action. But Jake does not listen, and with all his strength, he prevents the ship from collapsing. As a consequence, Commander Zhang grounds Jake. Soon, General Joshua arrives at the Space Defense Headquarters in Area 51, Nevada, where a few captured aliens have been kept since the first battle, which happened 20 years ago. He is told that they have suddenly started to behave strangely. Joshua then orders his subordinate to connect him to Director Levinson, but the director is unreachable. Somewhere in Central Africa, Levinson is traveling with Floyd to meet the warlord Mbutu. After getting there, he meets Dr. Catherine, who he knows from a few conferences. They reach the site where the alien ship landed in 1996. Mbutu joins them and explains that the ship's lights turned on automatically 2 years ago. Initially, the ship started drilling into the Earth until humans blew up the mothership. The reason for the drilling is still unknown. They enter the alien ship and Levinson realizes that it is the same ship that sent signals to the mothership back in 1996. They find a touchscreen panel with a semi-red circle option on it. Levinson touches it and a signal is sent to outer space. Soon, Dylan and a few other pilots, including Rain, fly from Earth to the moon's space defense system. Everyone is overjoyed to see them on the moon. Commander Zhang, who is Rain's uncle, hugs her and admires her beauty. As soon as Charlie sees Rain, he's smitten by her. Meanwhile, Dylan comes across Jake and slaps him after he makes some bad remarks. However, their fight comes to an end when Commander Zhang gets there. In the past, Jake, Dylan, and Patricia were great friends, but Jake nearly killed Dylan during a mission. Dylan has despised Jake ever since. Back on Earth, Dr. Oken, who has been in a coma since 1996, unexpectedly wakes up at Marilyn Whitmore Hospital. While the Oken's doctor is excited, General Joshua is worried when he's informed that his team has noticed a strange pull from Saturn's rings. He asks about their defense system, but to his horror, the entire system has vanished. Worried, he immediately issues an emergency alert. Meanwhile, Dr. Catherine talks to Levinson about a symbol that has been appearing in everyone's dreams, including the former president, Thomas. Levinson initially ignores it, but Mbutu has also seen the symbol. Even more surprisingly for Levinson, Mbutu has even deciphered a good bit of the alien language as well in the last 20 years. Following an electrical fluctuation at the moon base, Commander Zhang and his team notice a spherical craft approaching them. Zhang notifies everyone in the defense base and instructs them to link him to the Security Council. President Lanford, Director Levinson, and the security heads to join the meeting. Levinson explains that the spaceship that emerged just now is not designed for war. Still, the majority of the Security Council votes in favor of attacking the spaceship. As soon as the president grants permission, Commander Zhang orders to shoot it down. The alien spacecraft ends up crashing in the Van de Graaff crater. Levinson proposes to inspect the crash site, but the president orders him to first return to the United States for a celebration before going there. However, Jake and Charlie immediately head down to Earth after stealing a ship to bring Levinson to the crash site. When Thomas watches the news about this altercation, he tells Patricia that aliens are going to attack again and humans won't be able to win this time. That evening, Jake lands in Mbutu's base to pick up Levinson and Mbutu. Floyd and Catherine also end up joining them for the mission. Meanwhile, Levinson's father, Julius, is busy unveiling his book in which he claims that he saved the world during the last invasion. The next morning, while Jake and Levinson are busy investigating the crash site on the moon in Washington, D.C., the president is honoring some generals who saved the world 20 years ago. Out of nowhere, Thomas shows up there and tries to warn everyone, but he experiences a bad seizure. The same thing happens to Mbutu and Dr. Oken. Amidst all this, a giant spaceship appears on the moon. Both Levinson and Jake run toward their ship while Charlie tries to pick them up. After learning about the newly appeared spaceship, Joshua orders the celebration to be stopped and all the defense systems activated. Immediately, the president is taken away from the premises. Meanwhile, Charlie manages to save Jake and Levinson and also collects the container with them. However, they are trapped by the spaceship's gravity. Around the same time, Commander Zhang orders to use the primary weapon against the alien ship, but the spaceship tanks the blow and destroys the defense weapon on the moon with a single hit. The base also gets destroyed and Commander Zhang alongside other soldiers. Rain and Dylan can do nothing but watch as their comrades are massacred. The president orders the deployment of the orbital defense system, but it also ends in vain. Soon, the president is taken to the Cheyenne Mountain nuclear bunker, while Patricia and Thomas head to Area 51. The alien ship enters Earth's atmosphere and starts destroying many parts of the planet. China and Britain have already been destroyed completely. When it's about to reach Earth, its shield turns off, and in the process, Jake rides off his ship swiftly and makes his way to Area 51. When the alien ship gets to the Atlantic, Julius spots it. He gets in contact with his son, Levinson, but loses the signal. Meanwhile, Dylan spots his mother on top of a building. He orders the rescue team to save her, but before they could do so, the building collapses. Back in the ocean, Julius drives his boat as fast as he can to save his life, and eventually he gets stuck on the roof of a destroyed house. When Thomas gets to Area 51, he is greeted by General Joshua and led to the control room. At the same time, Dr. Oken leaves his room after scribbling alien symbols all over the wall. He then meets Thomas and hugs him. General demonstrates how the captive aliens are screaming and how their behavior has changed. But Dr. Oken informs them that the aliens are not screaming, but celebrating. In all the chaos, Thomas gets into the isolation chamber with one of the aliens and instructs everyone to collect as much information as possible. Levinson and the others get there as well. The alien grips Thomas by the neck and informs everyone that she is coming and she is all. The alien then begins strangling Thomas. However, he is saved when Mbutu kills the alien with his katana. Julius is also rescued by a group of kids. The researchers in Area 51 begin inspecting the retrieved container from the moon. Dr. Oken instructs them to cut it open to examine it, but his doctor advises him to first put on some pants. Levinson returns to the control room and discovers that the alien queen is in that spaceship, and it's like a beehive. They also learn that the spaceship is proceeding to drill into the Earth's molten core. If they extract it, the Earth will lose its magnetic field, which will be the end of life on the planet. Levinson tells everyone that if they kill the queen, it will stop the extraction. On the base, Jake meets Patricia and Dylan and offers his condolences to Dylan. Jake understands Dylan's pain since he too lost his parents during the first alien attack. After Joshua briefs the fighters on how to attack the mothership, Captain Dylan and his men prepare their fighter jets for the assault. Some men who were looking for gold in the Atlantic are now busy drinking as they think the world is ending. But they are approached by the US government officials to keep an eye on the spaceship's activity. They jokingly ask for $100 million for this job, to which the officials agree. Shocked, all of them get back to work. Meanwhile, Julius and the kids are now driving toward Area 51, where Dr. Oken is trying to cut the container open to see what's inside. But even after repeated attempts, the container doesn't open. Then he asks for a device called the Oken laser, which he invented 20 years ago. As Dylan and his team approach the spaceship, its defense system attacks them and destroys a large number of fighter jets. The aliens are also attacking them with their jets. This is when Jake proposes a strategy to go inside the spaceship and attack it from within. Joshua grants permission and they all board the ship. To their surprise, none of the aliens pursue them. However, Thomas wakes up in a panic and tells Patricia to stop Jake and the others since it is a trap and the Queen already knows about it. But Dylan and Jake have already boarded the spaceship. The Queen uses alien technology to strike Dylan and others, and their jets begin to lose power. They intend to drop bombs inside the spaceship and die with it when they fall. However, when the bombs are triggered, nothing happens since the Queen has already set up a device on the explosives to prevent them from exploding. The Queen then disrupts all the satellites with a single blow, causing everyone on the defense base in Area 51 to lose their communications. Soon, the aliens attack the defense bunker, killing the president and all of the presidential line. In the wake of the president's death, General Joshua is sworn in as president. After that, Thomas tries to lift everyone's spirits by reminding them that in 1996 the countries were divided, but they still won. and now that they are unified, they can once more defeat these invaders. He pushes them to fight till their last breath. With the help of Mbutu, Dr. Catherine deciphers the scribbles done by Dr. Oken. According to the scribbles, the symbol appearing in everyone's dream is the alien's enemy and an ally of humans. Along with it, the scribbles also mention an intergalactic war. Simultaneously, Dr. Oken manages to cut the container using the Oken laser, and a sphere-like ball emerges from the container, similar to the symbol. As soon as Floyd touches that sphere, his hands start to get submerged in it. Due to his touch, the sphere gets activated, and a female voice says that it originates from a different planet, which was attacked by the same aliens. They took all their resources, and they have been doing this to countless civilizations. It also adds that it came to Earth to help humans, but they attacked her. Further, she says that she knows of a planet where she teaches people to make weapons to kill the alien queen. As soon as the sphere is activated, the queen locates it. The sphere asks them to turn her off, as the alien queen must already be on her way there. After hearing all of it, they terminate the device. Levinson comes up with a plan to prepare a device that radiates a similar frequency to that of the sphere and plant a cold fusion bomb with it in a ship. As soon as the queen's ship engulfs the ship, the bomb will explode and the queen will be killed. He also suggests making a protective shield that will contain and engulf the explosion to protect that area. He shares his idea with Joshua, and the plan is put in motion after Joshua's approval. Joshua tells his pilots that whoever has the bomb will have to sacrifice their life to detonate it manually inside the alien ship, since all the satellites have been destroyed, and Thomas volunteers for this job. Back on the road, Julia sees a school bus. Several students are standing outside it since they have no driver. Upon approaching them, he offers to drive them to safety, and they all proceed together. Meanwhile, Levinson drives to the desert in a truck so that when the queen arrives, he can turn on the protective shield immediately. Joshua informs him that the queen will reach his location in 9 minutes, and the digger will reach the Earth's molten core in 22 minutes, so they have to hurry. Jake, his companions, and other aliens are still inside the ship. They come across alien ships and they board them after Jake distracts the aliens. Jake is later attacked by aliens, but Charlie comes to his rescue. As they are getting off the ship, Thomas loads the fusion bomb and takes off. After the queen and her ship have reached them, the other jets and soldiers load their weapons. As the battle begins, Dr. Oken is sitting in a special chamber with a sphere where the queen can't locate it. In the desert, Levinson notices a school bus and finds his father driving behind the steering wheel. Just then, Joshua orders Thomas to proceed, and he flies his ship into the alien ship and detonates the bomb, causing the ship's explosion. The shield is also activated at that exact moment. After the destruction of the alien ship, everyone is celebrating when the queen emerges alive from the debris with her protective shield, and it turns out that she was aware of the plan. She starts heading for Area 51, but Patricia gets there first and starts firing fiercely at the alien, causing her shield to deteriorate. Her jet, however, is attacked by the queen. Luckily, Patricia manages to eject before the crash. Jake and others then attack the queen to protect Patricia. Meanwhile, Levinson gets into the bus and starts escaping from the alien to save the kids and his father. Simultaneously, it is shown that the imprisoned aliens succeed in escaping, and then the isolated chamber containing the sphere is also shattered. To protect the sphere, Floyd reaches the chamber and fires on the aliens, and they die. Unfortunately, the doctor is also killed in the crossfire. Due to the destruction of the protective field of the queen, countless alien ships protectively encircle her, just like a hive of honeybees. To protect themselves from getting caught in that hive, Jake and his companions do a fusion drive to get out of it. The queen then moves into the chamber and takes the sphere with her. Due to the action of the fusion drive, Jake and others lose the engines of their ships and they start to fall toward Earth. However, while falling down, they start firing at the queen, eventually resulting in her death and causing the sphere to be free. To everyone's relief, the alien ships and the digger also stop after her death. Jake and the others also make it back alive. The film ends with Joshua thanking everyone for their efforts and Oken claiming that the sphere will help them if aliens attack the planet once again. If you enjoyed that recap, I got a good feeling you'll enjoy this one too. Click on the video on your screen for more.